A few weeks ago, I counted down 10 extremely easy games to get a platinum in on the PlayStation 4, and now I'm back to talk about 10 more extremely easy games that you can play now in order to get that glorious platinum trophy. Yes, some of these games do require you to use a guide to kind of help you through to make things easier, but even without a guide, these games are by far not difficult in order to still obtain that platinum trophy. So without further ado, here's 10 more extremely easy platinums on the PS4. By far the toughest and longest game on this list, Oceanhorn is a Zelda-inspired adventure that's actually pretty fun to play. In fact, maybe the funnest game to play that's included on this list. While you're going through the adventure, 6 to 10 hours it'll take you to complete the game, as well as do the side missions and find the side content items such as extra heart pieces and containers for you to be able to max out your character, and you have to gain experience along the way by completing side quests to level up your character. But even with all that, it won't be too long before you have the platinum in Oceanhorn. While I wasn't positive I wanted to include this game on the list, it's by far one of the easiest sports-related titles to get a platinum in on the PS4, and that is Rugby 15. I completed the game all in a single sitting in order to obtain the platinum, and while most of the trophies involve completing the game's various different leagues, you can easily do so by simulating all the matches. In fact, you can make every team in the league human-controlled, so once you simulate, you're going to get the trophy no matter what because you're every single team in a particular league. Now, there is a few matches you do end up having to play, and a few little things that you have to do technically on the hard difficulty, which, trust me, for a sports title, the hard difficulty is a joke. And a lot of the teams can be manipulated by lowering their stats to make matches easier. The most grueling of the trophies is that you do have to win 10 matches in a single setting, but that honestly will only take you a couple hours at most. In the end, Rugby 15, one of the easiest sports platinums you'll ever obtain. Thankfully, since the game's release, they patched it a bit, but some of the trophies are still a little bit finicky in Catlateral Damage, a game where you play as a cat who destroys things in a house. It has some okay music to go along with the hours of grinding it may take you in order to play the game enough, as it's very simplistic and doesn't have a lot of depth to the overall gameplay, but finding all the various cat pictures by playing the game and completing enough playthroughs to obtain all the trophies won't take you a whole long, and it's very easy to do so. Not surprisingly, while looking for more easy platinums, adventure games did pop up again, and Albedo Eyes from Outerspace is one I could have included on the last list, but now I'm doing it here. It's a very easy, a little bit frustrating at times. If you use a walkthrough, you'll have absolutely no problem figuring out the game's various goofy trophies, and in fact, this is the kind of game that you don't even need to beat in order to obtain the platinum, and it's only going to take you a couple of hours at most in order to do so. This is another one that I could have put on the last list, and a lot of people said, why didn't you include it? And the main reason for why is because it's not available on the North American store. It's on the European store only at the moment, and that is Nubla, a game that is literally 45 minutes in length in order to obtain the platinum. There is a few collectibles throughout the course of the game, which are very, very easy to obtain. There's some great walkthrough videos that will walk you through the entire process, and in less than an hour you can have a shiny new platinum. The only reason why it's higher on this list, even though it's probably the easiest game to get the plat, is just because it's only available in Europe and not currently on the North American store. The interesting graphical stylings of the puzzle adventure game Jazzpunk have made its way over to the PlayStation 4, and with it, an extremely easy platinum, only taking about 2 hours or so in order to obtain it. If you want to use a walkthrough, it'll be even easier to do so, but honestly, beating the game and getting the platinum isn't even that necessarily tough, even without that guide. The game has a spoof comedic feel to it. You're going to see lots of different movie references and such through it, so you're going to get a few chuckles and enjoyment while going through a game, so at least it's not a complete slog, and it's definitely one of the shortest platinums you can get on the PS4. Another game with an interesting graphical styling to it, and new to the PlayStation 4, Virginia, is an adventure first-person game where you're playing as an FBI agent in a small town looking at a mystery of a disappearance of a person. It has a unique styling to it, and overall I enjoyed it, though this is the kind of game that's definitely not for everyone. But the good thing about it is the game is incredibly short with an incredibly easy platinum. You do have to beat the game twice, but honestly, even by playing the game twice, it shouldn't take you more than 2.5 to 4 hours at most in order to get that shiny platinum. Now this is a game that is very easy, but a bit frustrating at times just because of the kind of game that it is, but Rockets is a very easy platinum. You can manipulate things in the settings to make the game even easier, and it does require at least 2 controllers in order to actually get the trophies. In fact, having 4 controllers would make a few trophies even easier. There are a few times where you're going to have to beat the AI, but the game is extremely easy and extremely short to complete a match. Even with stuff like beating 5 matches or 10 matches in a row won't take you any time at all. In fact, getting the platinum in Rockets will probably take you about 2 hours or so, if that, in order to obtain it. One of the worst games on the PlayStation 4 by far, Orc Slayer, is a first-person shooter where you are shooting endless hordes of various different orcs. It has a very, very easy platinum just from mostly beating the game's levels, though there is a few secrets here and there that you'll have to go off the beaten path to find, which are extremely easy to find, trust me. And the game's actually available in both North America and Europe with separate trophy lists. So if you love the game in one region, you can play it again in the other and get another easy platinum for 2 extremely easy platinums for the horrid game that is Orc Slayer. Another brand new game to the PlayStation 4, The Bunker, is a brand new FMV game here in 2016. One that I actually enjoy for parts, though I am a little bit mixed on the experience. It is a very simplistic FMV game with just having to click various prompts. There are great walkthrough videos, and the game is only about an hour and a half. And if you follow one of the walkthrough videos, you will easily obtain a platinum in about an hour and a half. Unfortunately, you can't skip scenes or speed things up at all, which makes things a little bit of a drag if you have to replay the game, but following one of those videos and making sure you click on a few things near the very beginning of the game will entail that you will get yourselves a very easy platinum in less than 2 hours of work. So there you have it, 10 more extremely easy PS4 platinums. Let me know down in the comments what other maybe extremely easy platinums that you have tackled in the recent months or years for the PlayStation 4 that I should look at and maybe include on a future list. Or just tell me down below what your favorite platinum to obtain was. A lot of you guys have done so, and there's some great games down in there. I saw a lot of the Uncharted series, mentions of Far Cry, which I've also loved and are pretty easy platinums as well. There's a lot of great games on the PS4, and a lot of which are great games that also have moderately difficult platinums to obtain as you're going through. I love trophy hunting, and like I've said before, it just adds more enjoyment and makes me play games that maybe I never would have checked out before because of those trophies. But anyway guys, that's gonna wrap up this countdown. I'd like to thank you for watching, and of course I hope you enjoyed.